Good morning, dear students. So it is nice to meet you after a long time. So due to the lockdown situation, we are not able to deliver our classes in colleges. So that is why we are providing you online classes. So today I am going to explain you about the chapter Lost Spring by XII. So I will try to explain the chapter in both the mediums, Assamese as well as English, for your convenience because some of the students of our college, they like to have communicate with teacher with Assamese as well. So that is why I will try to explain in Assamese. So Lost Spring, before I go into the chapter, I would like to tell you about XII. XII is a realistic writer. So that is why she used to roam around various places in India, various cities and villages as well, to know about the society. এগৰাকী বাস্তৱিক লেখিকা তেওঁ সমাজখনক তেওঁ বুজিবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰে। সেইকাৰণে ভাৰতৰ বিভিন্ন চহৰ, বিভিন্ন গাঁও অঞ্চলবিলাক তেওঁ পৰিভ্ৰমণ কৰে, যাতে ভাৰতৰ মানুহবিলাকৰ সমাজখনৰ কি চলি আছে, বিশেষকৈ কোনবিলাক সমস্যাৰ মাজত ভাৰতীয় মানুহবিলাক যুঁজি থাকিবলগীয়া হৈছে, সেইবিলাক তেওঁ নিজৰ লিখনিত তেওঁ প্ৰকাশ কৰে। She try to highlight the problem which the common people of Indian society has to face in their life actually. So the Lost Spring, there is a significance of this particular title. এটা বিশেষ বৈশিষ্ট্য আছে টাইটেলটো। Spring means season. We have 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn and winter. So here he brings the season spring into the title. There is a specific reason behind that. এটা বিশেষ কাৰণ আছে যে তেওঁ বসন্ত ঋতুটোক টাইটেল লোৱাৰ এটা কাৰণটো হৈছে কি, যে বহুত ক্ষেত্ৰত আমি দেখোঁ যে কবি সাহিত্যিকসকলে এই 4টা ঋতুক জীৱনৰ 4টা পৰ্যায়ত তুলনা কৰা আমি দেখিবলৈ পাওঁ। বসন্ত ঋতুটোক তেওঁলোকে মানুহৰ জীৱনৰ যিটো শৈশৱ সেইটোৰ লগত তুলনা কৰে। They used to compare the spring season with the childhood of human beings life. মানুহৰ জীৱনৰ শৈশৱটোৰ লগত তেওঁলোকে বসন্ত ঋতুৰ এটা বিশেষ মিল তেওঁলোকে দেখা পায়। এতিয়া আমাক যদি সোধা হয় যে among these 4 seasons which is the best, কোনটো ঋতু আটাইতকৈ ভাল লগা বুলি যদি প্ৰশ্ন কৰা হয়, সকলোৰে এটাই উত্তৰ হয়, সেইটো হৈছে কি স্প্ৰিং। স্প্ৰিং ছিজনটোকে এটা শ্ৰেষ্ঠ ঋতু বুলি গণ্য কৰা হয়। It is considered to be the best season. Why? Because at that particular season the nature decorated once more the thing which the nature lost in the winter season. It gradually began to regain those things in the spring season. For example, আমি কি দেখিবলৈ পাওঁ, গছত কুঁহিপাত আমি দেখিবলৈ পাওঁ। We can see green leaves in the trees. নদীবিলাক পুনৰ পানীৰে উপচি পৰে। গ্ৰীণ সেউজীয়া যিবিলাক পথাৰ আছিলে, যিবিলাক উইণ্টাৰ ছিজনত শুকাই মৰহি যায়, আকৌ সেইবিলাক নতুনকৈ সজীৱ হৈ উঠে। That means in the spring season nature get back to life once more. জীৱনলৈ পুনৰ উভতি আহে। ঠিক তেনেদৰে আমাৰ মানুহবিলাকৰ জীৱনৰ পৰ্যায়বিলাকক যদি আমি চাওঁ, যে আমাক যদি সোধা হয় যে মানুহৰ জীৱনত আটাইতকৈ মধুৰ মুহূৰ্তবিলাক কোনবিলাক, which is the best or beautiful moments of our life, তেতিয়া আমাৰ সদায় এটা কথাই হয় কি, যে childhood. Childhood is considered to be the best period of human beings' life because at that particular stage of life we involve in vivid imaginations. কিছুমান আমি কল্পনাৰ মাজত আমি অতিবাহিত থাকোঁ। We don't know what is worry, what is tension. We don't know the pressure of life. জীৱনৰ বোজা আমি বুজি নাপাওঁ। চিন্তা ভাৱনাবিলাক আমাৰ খুব মুকলি হৈ থাকে। We love to fly in the sky like a bird. চৰাইদৰে আমি উৰিবলৈ আমাৰ ভাল লাগে। That is why childhood can be considered as a spring season of human being's life. So here he says lost spring. Lost means to lose something. And spring, since it is childhood, that means lost spring means what? Lost childhood. So from that particular point of view, lost spring means lost childhood, and that means lost how some of the innocent child of India, they had to lost their childhood. শৈশৱ কেনেদৰে কি পৰিস্থিতি তেওঁলোকে হেৰুৱাবলগীয়া হৈছিল, in which circumstances they will have to lose their beautiful moments of life, that is childhood. That is what highlighted by Dennis Zoom in this particular story. Okay. The circumstance is that child labor. This is considered to be one of the social evils in Indian society. ভাৰতৰ সমাজত কিছুমান সামাজিক কিছুমান ব্যাধিৰ মাজত আমি সাঙুৰ খাই আছো, আৰু সেইবিলাকৰ ভিতৰত এটা জ্বলন্ত এটা বাৰ্নিং ইস্যু হৈছে কি চাইল্ড লেবাৰ, অৰ্থাৎ মাইনৰিটি এজৰ যিবিলাক ল'ৰা ছোৱালী তেওঁলোকক বিভিন্ন শ্ৰমত নিয়োগ কৰি দিয়া হয়. And when they were engaged in such activities, naturally and obviously they will have to lose their childhood. তেওঁলোকে নিজৰ শৈশৱ হেৰুৱাবলগীয়া হয়. গতিকে this chapter is all about child labor. শিশু শ্ৰমৰ ওপৰত ইয়াত এনিজুঙে আলোচনা কৰিছে. ইয়াত লষ্ট স্প্ৰিঙত এনিজুঙে দুটা ষ্টৰী তেওঁ আমাৰ আগত দিছে. এটা হৈছে sometimes I found a rupee in a garbage. This is the title of the first story. Before I would like to inform one more thing. Lost Spring, you can find two stories in this particular chapter, and this Lost Spring stories are taken from her book, that is Stories of Stolen Childhood. There is a name of the book composed by Enzo. Stories of Stolen Childhood, and from that particular book, this story Lost Spring has been extracted. And in this story Lost Spring, she explained two stories. The first one is sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. So why she give this particular title to the story, sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage? The main character in this story is a boy whose name is Sahebi Alam. In short, he is called Saheb. He is the protagonist, or you can say the central character in the story. Story to Mul Sorito is Saheb. So he made the imaginative character, the Kalponik Sorito hobo pare, but still this particular character Saheb is representing all those innocent child of India or in the world who are involved in child labor, and for that they have to lose their innocent childhood, the happy period of their life. And sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. কেতিয়াবা কেতিয়াবা জাবৰৰ ডোমৰ মাজত মই এটকা এটা মই পাই যাওঁ. This particular sentence was said by Saheb to the author Ennis Zoom. এটা প্ৰসংগত এনিছ জুঙক চাহেবে এই কথাষাৰ কৈছিল যে কেতিয়াবা জাবৰৰ ডোমৰ মাজত মই এটকা এটা পাই যাওঁ. So when Saheb said this particular sentence to Ennis Zoom, she was touched by what Saheb said. তাৰ অন্তৰখন চুই গৈছিল. এই কাৰণে the 1 rupee, and remember this is a modern story, the story of the present days. আজিৰ যুগত at this particular period of time, so 1 rupee is the amount, এটা আমি পইচা বুলি কম নে বাৰু, যেটো বস্তু আমাৰ কাৰণে একোৱেই নহয়. ধনী মানুহৰ কথা আমি নকওঁৱে, যিসকল মিডল ক্লাছ ফেমিলি বিলং কৰা মানুহবিলাকৰ কাৰণে 1 rupee is nothing, একোৱেই নহয়. আমি এটকা এটা হেৰালে we don't think much about that. Goal, we don't worry about the fact. But আমাৰ কাৰণে যিটো বস্তু এটা অৰ্থহীন এটা গুৰুত্বহীন এটা অদৰকাৰী বস্তু, worthless kind of thing, সেই বস্তুটো পাবৰ কাৰণে এটা 10-11 বছৰ এটা বাচ্চাই চহৰৰ চুকত বা কোনোবা এটা জেগাত গোট খাই থকা জাবৰৰ দমবিলাক, গাৰ্বেজবিলাক খুচৰি ফুৰে, only to have a 1 rupee coin. এইটো এটা বৰ ডাঙৰ কথা। অ'কে, এনিজিঙৰ কাৰণে আগতে আমাৰ সকলোৰে কাৰণে এটা ডাঙৰ কথা। গতিকে এনিজিং ৱাজ অভাৰৱেলমড হোৱাট চাহেব ছেইড। তেওঁ কিবা এটা খুব বেয়া লাগিছিল, বস্তুটো তেওঁ একেবাৰে অন্তৰখন আগুৰি পেলাইছিল, আৰু সেইকাৰণে তেওঁ কি কৰিছিল, সেই ষ্টৰিটোৰ নাম দিছিল Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage. So being a realistic writer, Annie Jung used to go among the people, and that is why she herself is a narrator in the story. Okay, she is explaining us what she observed through her own eyes. The নিশ্চয়কৈ যিবিলাক বস্তু দেখিছিল সেইখিনিকে তেওঁ কি কৰিছিল, ষ্টৰিত তেওঁ প্ৰকাশ কৰিছিল। সেইকাৰণে প্ৰত্যেকটো ষ্টৰিত তেওঁ নিজে এটা চৰিত্ৰ প্লে কৰে, তেওঁ নিজে এজন চৰিত্ৰ হিচাপে তেওঁ যায়, আৰু সেই ব্যক্তিসকলক তেওঁ ডাইৰেক্টলি তেওঁ ইণ্টাৰেক্ট কৰে। অ'কে, গতিকে whenever you will find I in the story, that is Annie Jung herself, তেওঁ নিজে। অ'কে, so now I will move to the chapter and try to explain what Annie Jung is going to tell us. Why do we do this? I asked Sahib, whom I encounter every morning, scrounging for gold in the garbage dumps of my neighborhood. Sahib left his home long ago, set amidst the green fields of Dhaka. His home is not even a distant memory. There were many storms that swept away their fields and homes. His mother tells him that is why they left looking for gold in the big city where he now lives. So in the very first line of the chapter, Annie Jung is telling us, so what happened, Annie Jung had a habit of take a morning walk in every morning. So every day she used to come out of her house, and by the side of his house there is a garbage dump. She can always found there, and every day whenever she come out of the house, she always finds a boy who screws those garbage dumps looking for something amidst those dirty garbage. সেই লেতেৰা জাবৰ দমবিলাকৰ কিবা এটা ল'ৰা এটাই সদায় খুচৰি থকা এনি জুঙে দেখিব। স্ক্ৰুঞ্জিং মিনছ টু চাৰ্জ চামথিং, কিবা এটা খুচৰি থকা তেওঁ দেখিবলৈ তেওঁ সদায় পায়। গতিকে এদিন দেখিল, দুদিন দেখিল, তিনিদিন দেখিল, যিটো সদায় যিটো তেওঁ দেখে, তো ছাডেনলি দেয়াৰ ইজ এ কুৱেশ্যন ৰাইজ ইন হাৰ মাইণ্ড, তেওঁৰ মনত এটা প্ৰশ্ন আহিল, এণ্ড দেট ইজ ৱাই ওৱান ডে শ্বি আস্কছ দ্য বয়, why do you do this? যে এই কামটো তুমি কিয় কৰা? তেতিয়া সেই ল'ৰাটোৱে এনি জুঙক উত্তৰ দিছিল যে I have nothing else to do, মই বেলেগ একো কৰিবলৈ নাই, এইটোৱে মই কৰোঁ। আৰু এই যিটো ল'ৰা এনি জুঙে প্ৰশ্ন কৰিছিল যে why do you do this, the name of that particular boy is Sahib, the central character in the story. Okay, and whenever Annie Jung finds her, she asks this question to the boy, and Annie Jung is also telling us about the background of the boy. He was born in Dhaka, Bangladesh, and few years back he and his parents migrated to India actually, and he still remembered his birthplace. Tar janmo jaga kon tar eta monok pora. He knows that the place where I'm living right now, this is not my birthplace. He is aware of that particular fact. He still remembers his birthplace. So that is why whenever, every now and then, he used to ask his mother, so why did we come here? Because this is not our place. Then her mother used to tell him there is many storms in Dhaka, their birthplace, and that is why there is no food, there is no shelter. They had to lose everything there in that particular storm, and that is why they came here, that is Delhi. to find gold in the city of Delhi. So there's many storms in Dhaka. That means not the cyclonic storm or anything else actually. And there's so many problems going on in Bangladesh during 1971 actually. At that point of time, the many people of Bangladesh, they had to lose their shelter place as well as their home. And there is no food for them, and they also had to lose their shelter place. খোৱা বোৱা থকাৰ সকলোবিলাক সা সুবিধা তাত হেৰাই গৈছিল। এনেকুৱা এটা পৰিস্থিতি বাংলাদেশত হৈছিল। তেতিয়া কি হৈছিল, বহুতখিনি বাংলাদেশৰ নাগৰিকে অবৈধভাৱে ভাৰতত সোমাই দিছিল। আৰু চাহেবহঁতৰ পৰিয়ালটো তেনেকুৱা এটা পৰিয়াল যি দিল্লীলৈ আহিছিল এইটো আশাত যে অন্তত থকা মেলাটো বেলেগ কথা, কিবা এটা খাবলৈ তাত পাম। লঘোণে ভোকে ইয়াত থাকি মৰাতকৈ ইট ইজ বেটাৰ টু গ' টু চাম আদাৰ প্লেচ টু হেভ ছামথিং টু ইট একচুৱেলি, খাবলৈ যাতে কিবা এটা পাব পাৰি সেইটোৰ আশাতে তেওঁলোক ইয়ালৈ আহিছিল। এণ্ড চি ৰেফাৰিং টু ফাইণ্ড গ'ল্ড ইন দিল্লী, ডেট মিনছ এই কথাটোৰ এটা বিশেষ তাৎপৰ্য আছে। গ'ল্ড বুলি যে কৈছে, নট একজেক্টলি দ্য জুৱেলাৰী অৰ গ'ল্ড একচুৱেলি, ইয়াত এইটো কথা কৈছে দ্য 1 rupee নোট or something very ordinary thing for us, আমাৰ নিচিনা কিছুমান আমাৰ কাৰণে অতি অলাগতিয়াল কিছুমান বস্তু, এই বস্তুবিলাক it is as precious as gold for people like Sahib and his parents. যিটো বস্তু আমাৰ কাৰণে একেবাৰে মূল্যহীন, যিটো বস্তু আমি হেৰুৱাবলৈ পেলাই দিবলৈ আমি যিটো বস্তু অকণো চিন্তা নকৰোঁ, সেই বস্তুটো এহেঁতৰ কাৰণে সোণৰ সমান মূল্যৱান হৈ যায়। সেইকাৰণে তেওঁ যে কৈছে looking for gold, that means some of the precious thing which is very much ordinary for the people of Delhi. Okay, being a capital city of India, Delhi is a very developed city and so many rich people are living in Delhi. So that is why 1 rupee, 10 rupee, these things are nothing for people of Delhi, and the thing which you should throw away, considering them as waste for us, যিবিলাক বস্তু আমাৰ কাৰণে অলাগতিয়াল বা জাবৰ বুলি যিবিলাক বস্তু আমি দলিয়াই পেলাই দিওঁ, people like Sahib used to collect them to survive in this world. এই পৃথিৱীত জীয়াই থাকিবলৈ তেওঁলোকে সেই বস্তুবিলাক কি কৰে, সংগ্ৰহ কৰে। I have nothing else to do, he mutters looking away. Go to school, I say glibly, realizing immediately how hollow the advice must sound. So then Anizum asks Sahib, Sahib replied Anizum that apart from doing this particular thing, I have nothing else to do in this world. This is the only thing which I can do. মই কৰিব পৰা কাম হৈছে কেৱল এইটোৱেই। তেতিয়া এনিজুঙে উত্তৰ দিছিল, তেওঁক কৈছিল যে why don't you go to school? তুমি স্কুল কিয় নোযোৱা? এইবিলাক জাবৰ চাবৰ খুচৰি থকাতকৈ it is better that you should go to school. And after saying this particular thing, Anizung realized that she had said something very silly actually. কিবা এটা বৰ অলাগতিয়াল কথা তেওঁ ক'লে। That is why she said, I say glibly. Glibly means without thinking the consequence of a particular thing. আমি কিছুমান কথা ঘপকে আমি কৈ দিওঁ, পিছতো চিন্তা নকৰি পেলাই সেইটো glibly বুলি কয়। Because why she say that I say glibly? Because after giving this particular advice to Sahib, immediately Anizung realized that the advice which she had given to Sahib, it is quite hollow. এটা অতি ফোপোলা অদৰকাৰী মই এডভাইচ তাক দিলোঁ, কাৰণ পিছতহে তেওঁ ভাবিছে যে সঁচাকৈ ল'ৰাটোৰ যদি স্কুল যোৱাৰ এবিলিটি থাকিলেহেঁতেন, মাক দেউতাকৰ তাক যদি স্কুল পঠিওৱাৰ যদি ক্ষমতা থাকিলেহেঁতেন, কি চখতনো মাক দেউতাকে তাক এই লেতেৰা জাবৰ দমবিলাক খুচৰিবলৈ পঠিয়াব, বা কি চখতনো সি নিজে এই লেতেৰা জাবৰ দমবিলাক খুচৰিব। কোন বাচ্ছাই ভাল পাব যে যিটো জাবৰ দমৰ কাষেদি আমি গ'লে ধৰক নাকত ৰুমালখনে সোপা দি পেলাই আমি পাৰ হৈ যাওঁ, সেই গোন্ধটোৰ পৰা নিজকে বচাবলৈ এটা 10-11 বছৰীয়া এটা ল'ৰাই সেই জাবৰ দমটোৰ মাজত সোমাই সেইটো খুচৰি সি কি এণ্টাৰটেইনমেণ্ট পাব পাৰে, সেইটো এনিজুঙে পিছত গম পালে যে circumstance compelled this particular boy to do such things. She realized immediately after giving this particular advice to the boy. So when Anizung told the boy that why don't you go to school, he replied that there is no school in my neighborhood. When they build one, I will go. If I start a school, will you come? I asked half joking. Yes, he says, smiling broadly. So then the boy replied, then how can I go to school? Because there is no school in my neighborhood. Because they are living in a very backward place in Delhi, a remote area that is called Simapur. The place where Sahib and other boys of his age are living is called Simapur. It is a place situated in Delhi, but it is a wilderness because you can't find human habitation in this particular place before they settle down in Simapuri. And there is no electricity, there is no water supply, no facility was given by the government to those people there actually. And obviously there is no school as well. So he called the school ei nai moi jam kor pora. Konobai jodi school ekhon osor khuli die tetia moi kintu jam hi koise. That he is very much keen to go to school. School joar agroh nothoka nohoy kintu jabo kor pora etia. School ekhon thakile hi jabo. Ba ator school ekhon pothialo mak detar hetu ability nai. He is deprived of education like other boys of his age. Only to check his mindset, Enizung said, if I open a school in your area, will you come? Tumi ahibane baro? Alop dhamali koi bole Enizung eta khudile. That he koisil, yes, I will definitely go to the school. Our school joar agroh to jetu ase, hekane he khub phuti in a very happy frame of mind. He koisil that moi definitely jam. A few days later, I see him running up to me. Is your school ready? So the thing which Enizung said in a funny way, in a joking way, Sahib took it quite seriously. Sahib kothatok mane olop gobhir bhabe lole because he is quite innocent kind of boy. Gotike misha hosar a difference bilak ehdi buji napai. Gotike Enizungor war jetu dharana hetu ki hosa boli bhabi lole. Hekane whenever she saw Enizung, he dori ahe Enizungor sore. আৰু আহি পেলাই কয়হি যে আপুনি যে কৈছিলে আমাৰ ঘৰৰ ওচৰত স্কুল এখন খুলিম বুলি স্কুলখন ৰেডি হ'ল নেকি বাৰু সেই কথাটো কি প্ৰায় সুধিবলৈ ধৰিলে It takes longer to build a school. I say embarrassed at having made a promise that was not meant. But promises like mine abound in every corner of his big world. So then I told him that it's take longer period to open a school. School ekhon khulibole time lage. Iman potokke school ekhon khulibo nwari boli Enizung eta uttor dile. Ta kotha to kole hoy hedor kin in the meantime she felt quite embarrassed. Nijoke nije ta bahut last pale ta. Ekane last pale. Kenta ta lotok eneko ta promise korisil jitu promiser kin asil kuno reality nasile ta. Ini je koi disile. Kobo lage kane koi disile kintu ta tenuka kuno planning ta nasile school ekhon kholar. And she felt quite embarrassed that I have promised something to a boy who doesn't have any meaning actually. He was last pale the promises like mine, that means false promises. If Hikubilakor Jibon to Nogua Elogicon weak or Ondokar Jikon Pitibionokor, the dark and bleak world of these unfortunate boys. Their world is filled with such false promises. People give promise and they used to break their promise. Nobody fulfilled promises to those unfortunate boys. Our Enizung ki hoy gol, she also became a part of this particular system. False promise kora ei chokrotor logot teu jan humai pori tenuka teu feel hoisil aru sei kotha to teu log নিজেই last teu অনুভৱ কৰিছিল After months of knowing him, I asked him his name. Sahebi Alam, he announces. He doesn't know what it means. If he knew its meaning, Lord of the universe, he would have a hard time believing it. So in this way, Enizung have known this boy for months. Keba maho hol, hodai enake log pabole dhorile. So one day Enizung asked him his name. Khudile je tomar naam tu ki? Hodai log pai sokur sinaki hoi gol kotha botar pate kintu naam tu ajileke Enizunga khudha nasile. Aji khudi dile je tomar naam tu ki? So then the boy replied that my name is Sahebi Alam. He announced his name because I think Enizung probably the first person who asked him his name. Nobody called him after his name. Kuno tak naam di namate aru ajileke hoyto kuno tak naam tu khudhao nasil. Jodi mak dedoke naam eta jodi disil kintu kahaniu ei naam tu eta kuno mata nasil. Enizung is the first person who asked him his name. That is why he he announced his name, Sahib-e-Alam. The meaning of his name is what? Lord of the universe is the meaning of Sahib-e-Alam. So who is Lord of the universe? Obviously the God. That means simply we can say Sahib's name is God. So he is God. Okay? But N.S. Jung admitted that the boy doesn't know what his name means. He don't know that the name of his meaning. The meaning of his name is God or Lord of the universe. If he had known that his name signifies God, he would have. It was difficult for him to believe that his name is God. তাৰ নিজৰে বিশ্বাস কৰিব অকণ টান হ'লহেঁতেন কাৰণ looking at his life there is nothing relevance with God actually. তাৰ নামটোৰ লগত কামৰ কি নাই কোনো মিল নাই একচুৱেলি কাৰণ এই গডজনে কি কৰিছে এটা ফটা হাফ পেণ্ট পিন্ধি খুদা ভৰিৰে ৰাতিপুৱা ঘৰৰ পৰা ওলাই আহে আৰু ওলাই আহি পেলাই দিল্লীৰ ৰাস্তাবিলাকৰ কাষত থকা জাবৰ জোনবিলাক খুচৰি পেলাই তাৰ পৰা কিবা এটা প্ৰিচিয়াছ বস্তু উলিয়াই পেলাই সেইটোৰ পৰা জীয়াই থাকিবলৈ কি কৰে চেষ্টা কৰে so this particular thing cannot be considered as God actually গতিকে this is what N.S. Jung said. Unaware of what his name represents, he roamed the streets with his friends, an army of barefoot boys who appeared like the morning birds and disappear at noon. Over the months, I have come to recognize each of them. So, I have already told you he is not aware of what his name signifies. That is why he is not thinking about it, thinking much. He doesn't think much about it. He ulai ahi pela rastai ghate ঘূৰি পকি তাৰ নিচিনা কিছুমান শিশুৰ গ্ৰুপৰ লগত ৰাস্তাত এই বস্তুবিলাক বিচাৰি ফুৰে গতিকে this is what Sahib's lifestyle. So I will conclude for today. I will see you in the next class very soon. Thank you.